Every single thing that you're going through right now, every single obstacle is going to create a story that you can use to propel yourself forward and look for how you can use that lesson to propel yourself into something bigger than where you're at right now.
Meet Jessi Penner. She's the founder of Fixe Beauty, which is an online and in-person eyelash extension training academy. And they provide the beauty skills, but also teach the business strategies to launch and grow thriving beauty businesses.
I thought that the beauty industry was honestly for people who weren't smart enough to get a real job. I realized that there was so much opportunity, and I also realized that there was a big place for people who had a business mindset in the industry.
So far, they served over 45,000 students, and they're putting more money into the hands of these hardworking beautypreneurs.
I dove into a network marketing company. Within 18 months, I made it to the top of the company, going from June of doing $100,000 a month and then closing out July in $1 million months.
Welcome Jessi Penner to the show. Jessi is the founder of Fixe Beauty, which is an online and in-person eyelash extension training academy. They provide the beauty skills, but also they teach the business strategies to launch and grow thriving beauty businesses. They served so far over 45,000 students, and they are putting more money into the hands of hardworking beautypreneurs. Jessi, welcome to the show.
Hi, Matt. Thanks so much for having me. So good to be here.
Yes, let's kick this off with what's your mission on the planet?
Oh my goodness. My mission is to absolutely use my story and the things that I've overcome to inspire other people to go and make positive changes, whatever it is in their life, and to use the tools and the resources that they have just to make the world around them a better place and to give them the choices that they need and the things that they need to do that. So it's my
Lovely.
mission.
In your previous life, what did you do before? And then what inflection point made you start to focus on that mission?
My previous life, I went to school. I went to business school, actually. Didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I always thought that was the right thing to do. I ended up landing a job in insurance of all things, and it was absolutely soul sucking. I was working 9 to 5 doing insurance, and I was single mom and kind of just living that life of waking up, going to my 9 to 5 job and getting home, having about an hour and a half with my child, putting him to bed, and then doing it all over again, and really never having any money at the end of the month. Like it was just this cycle that was just going on and going on. And I kept wondering, there has to be something more. There has to be a change. And then I actually, while I was looking and praying and just trying to figure out what I should do, I was introduced to the world of network marketing, which is kind of one of those things where it's even faux pas to say. I know that there's so much stigma with network marketing, but I really just felt so hopeless and I had not a lot of choices. So I dove into a network marketing company just full steam ahead. And within 18 months, I made it to the top of the company, earned the car, did all those things. And I look back at that time in my life and there's a part of me that cringes because I never wanted to be that awkward salesperson or ask anybody for a home party or whatever you had to do. But the lessons that I learned in team building and in recruiting people to believe in a dream or something bigger than what they were doing were what took me to a place where I was able to start Fixe, because I learned all of those lessons and I learned, hey, it doesn't really matter what you're doing as long as you know that you're creating positive change. You can use whatever resources are available and you can use your business to inspire positive change. So from there, Fixe was born, and just from my ideas from network marketing.
Great segue to talk about today. So let's talk about your offers. What do you sell today? And if you could guide me through your offer stack from the low end, like what's the lowest price point and all the way to the highest price point?
So talking about my offers is an interesting subject. Like most entrepreneurs, I have just so many ideas and I'm definitely a generator. So working with a team of people who have been able to implement my ideas on these offers and then make fast changes has been challenging for them, I know. So our main offer and what we do and what we've consistently done is we offer premium products for our customers and our students to come back to and purchase. And then we sell online training courses for people to become certified eyelash extension professionals. And we are just now entering back into a place where we're going to be offering in-person training again, which is what we had started doing pre-COVID. So we've got in-person, online training, and then premium products as well to go with the courses that they take.
What are price points, low to high?
Oh gosh, I mean, you can get started with our program around $200, and then some of our courses go up to $5,000. So there's really kind of something for everybody, and it just depends on what they're looking to do. We certify people who are just beginning and people who have zero background in the beauty industry, which truthfully was me before I started doing eyelash extensions. I had no background in the beauty industry. I thought that the beauty industry was honestly for people who weren't smart enough to get a real job. And when I started to look at it further, I realized that there was so much opportunity. And I also realized that there was a big place for people who had a business mindset in the industry. So we start off at around $200 to go from beginner to Lash Pro certified. And then we also offer programs that are anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000 where we're teaching people to start their own lash academy as well.
And just real quick, like for the 5K offer, is it like a 1 year? Is it a 12 weeks? Is it half a year? Like how long is the time?
So for our 5K offer, we were doing it as a weekend. So it was a 2-day weekend, 8 hours each day, working with me and my team of educators. And we offer online training to support them afterwards. But the 2-day weekend is jam-packed with everything they need to know to launch their own lash academy. And then they also have video resources and everything available to them afterwards.
Right. Why do clients buy from you? Like what problem do you truly solve for them?
A vision for a life that is better than the one that they're living now.
Yeah, that makes sense. And when did you launch the business as is today with that exact offer stack?
With that exact, I mean, it's evolving all of the time and it's changing. What I can say is that when we first launched the business, our price point was about $2,500, and that was for in-person training. We didn't have an online course. We had none of that. I hadn't entered into that realm. And it was about a year before COVID, we decided to create an online training course. And the price point within all of my competitors that were out there, and then ours as well, it was $997. We made a quick flip right at the beginning of COVID, bumped it down to $200, and used our strategy then was to underprice our competitors and to jump in on the opportunity that everybody was stuck at home. They were looking to be self-employed. They were looking for something different. So my success and the offer that we were able to really effectively sell, and what brought in, I would say 98% of our students, was the $200 offer.
Yeah, nice. Low ticket tripwire built up the trust and ascent into the higher priced offers and certifications. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. What software tools do you use to deliver the value to your clients today?
So we started with Teachable, upgraded to Kajabi. Everything that we have right now is hosted for teaching purposes, is hosted on Kajabi. Funnels for selling and for landing pages. And then quite honestly, CRMs, we have bounced around and spent so much money, so much heartache, and I have not landed on a CRM that I love yet. And then we used Passion.io for a while for our app, and I think that would be those would be our biggest softwares that we're using.
Nice. Let's talk about success. So how many total paying clients do you have today? And in a typical month, how many new clients do you get?
So we crossed over, I think we're at like 46 or 47,000 students now who have come through our program. On a reoccurring basis, I would say, let me go back. On a completion basis, what I'm proud of is that we have actually about a 38% completion rate of our program, which in the online course model is actually very high. Yeah. And it is something I'm proud of because that's something that I've invested a lot of time in. I'm so invested in people either A, using this as a way to get a bigger dream, or B, using it to actually complete and build a career. And then our reoccurring purchase rate is probably about, I would say about 67% right now is what we're looking at for people who are coming back to repurchase products, repurchase courses on a monthly basis as well. And then the way that we do that is through loyalty programs, through ongoing discounts and things like that.
If you think the creator economy is really interesting, then I got something for you. On milliondollarcreators.club, we actually created a database of all the creators out there, and you see not just their fans, followers, subscribers, but actually how much money are they making. So with that, we bring now transparency into the creator economy, and you really see how are the best of the best get their customers, price their offers, create their offer stack, get customers, which tools are they using, how will they grow and triple their business going forward. So if that's interesting for you, including lists of who makes the most revenue, who has the fastest revenue growth, who has the biggest audience, who has the fastest growing audience, who makes the most revenue per follower, and who has the most exciting offer stack from low end all the way to the high end, then go to $1 Million Creator Stuff Club and enjoy the data. Right. Just real quick, for people who don't know, 4% is the industry average completion rate. She has 38%. That's almost like a 10x. So what is your secret on achieving such a high completion rate?
Community. I think the one thing that we've done different that helped us stand out in the beauty industry was that we weren't selling the actual certification. We were selling the dream. And so the community, it's a really strong community, and it's based off of vulnerability and connection. I feel like I know my students so well. I know our avatar so well. I'm open about my story and what I've had to overcome. And I'm open about what kind of saved me from where I was and brought me to where I am now. And so our students all kind of come with a story of looking for more, and they stick around because of that, right?
Yeah, very, very clear. We'll double click on that in a second. Real quick to understand where the business is at currently, like what's the typical month revenue wise on average?
I have actually exited the business. So I've sold the business. I'm still a part owner of it, and I'm still involved with it. But I can't share revenue numbers right now just because of the agreement that I have with them.
Okay. What's a business podcast? So like I need to listen, need to get one. Let's say this is called $1 Million Creators. Like, are you aspirational? Have you cracked that mark? Are you like way beyond that limit? Like just like some feeling, doesn't have to be specific.
So, I mean, so you want me to touch on just like some sort of revenue milestone?
Yeah. Like, is it like, I don't know, low 7 figures, mid 7 figures, 8 figures, 9 figures, 6 figures, and anywhere, like to just get a feeling where the business is at?
So we started in, I started the business in 2018.
Yeah.
By June of 2020, we had hit our first $100,000 month. And then by July, we hit our first $1 million month. So we scaled extraordinarily fast. It was a slow couple of years. It was a comfortable couple of years for me in terms of income and running as a solopreneur. And then once we started to tap into Facebook and Instagram marketing, and then once we tapped into ClickFunnels and we got everything really, really ironed out, going from June of doing $100,000 a month and then closing out July in $1 million months, as $1 million month, that was where we saw the huge growth, and then we were able to maintain that moving forward as well.
Right. So I mean, that means you're like 7-figure monthly. That means it's an 8-figure business still, and that's since COVID. So like it's an 8-figure business since COVID. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Congratulations. Double clicking, like you said, 45,000 customers served on lifetime. What's the typical amount of people that go through your programs on an annual basis? Is it then more like 10,000? So like divided by 4 years. So like 1,000 customers a month?
It's so hard to know. And I honestly wish, looking back, that I would be able to have more consistency in the numbers. During COVID, Our numbers were extraordinarily high. Our marketing budgets were also extraordinarily high. Then because of the scale and because of everything that happened so fast, I eventually ended up pulling back, which was against everything I wanted to do. So we pulled back. So our numbers, to be honest, during COVID were a lot higher. And then now, because of just going and pulling back to get a better grip on the foundations of the business, they're slower. But I will say that they're directly related to our marketing dollars, like directly. So
yeah, that makes sense. You also like, let's say, less customers, but you make more per customer, so you still have that revenue level, but you kind of like go deeper on the lifetime of the customers. That's at least how it sounds.
Yeah, exactly.
On the cost side, like what is driving cost? If I were to have that secret chat with your accountant, like how big is the team? What are like the drivers? Is it like payroll, contractors, tools, anything else like the products? No clue.
So with the team, when I'll speak to last year, I guess we were running with a team of about 8 full-time employees, and then we would contract out for certain things that we needed. So contracting out for Facebook management, ad management, things like that.
Before we continue, there's one favor I would like to ask. If you enjoy what we do here and you enjoy the guests that we bring, please join $1 Million Creators by hitting the subscribe button. And if you do, I'll make you a deal. I do everything in my power to make this show bigger and better for you. Do we have a deal? Enjoy the show. Yeah, amazing. I mean, that means that you have very likely... You know, like sometimes when I interview the people, they're like, you have a net 80%, net 80%, net 70%, net 90%, net 50% business. So that means after, let's say you make $1 million, net 90% would be like 900K, like is still like profit.
Yeah.
Where does the business stand there? And then also, where do you invest? What do you do with the proceeds? Where do you put it?
Well, I'll go back a little bit. I mean, looking at the net profit margin when you're running online courses, right? It's such a different business model than when you're actually dealing with tangible goods, right? And you're dealing with products. And so I think that having that ability to go in and know that we could lead with a product that essentially at this point it owed us nothing, it didn't cost us anything. We were able to be aggressive with our marketing, and so our margins were high. For the first year, almost everything that I made went back into either the business or investment into incredible staff, or trying to find incredible staff in ways and to build a team. And then that aside, most of it would go back into marketing as well. So a lot of aggressive marketing and whatnot. And then after that, also just for me, it was the first time ever that I had even been able to pay for anything in my life as a single mom. So just building my life up, buying a house, car, things like that.
Impressive. Love it. Let's talk about lead gen customer acquisition, easier section. How do you get eyeballs, awareness about your offers?
So definitely through, through paid advertisements. And whatnot. But I think, again, going back to it, I think leading with the story and leading with the why is how we were able to attract so many people, and why people come and choose us as a company is just starting with the vision and what it is that they can do, and not starting with the actual product is how we have attracted the people that we have.
Right. And then what's the funnel from awareness? Right, so you have community, you lead with why, you don't really sell, but then how do you still like do the funnel to get your first purchase or into the core offers even?
Well, I mean, the one thing we followed is Russell Brunson's training on emotion, fear, and logic, and so everybody comes in through the funnel, and a lot of it is touching on their emotions, touching on their story, touching on their why, and so right away the advertisement or whatever it is that they're seeing will touch on that and then lead into webinars. We've sold most of our courses have been sold either from evergreen webinars, or we used to do live webinars as well. And we would bring them through email campaigns to get them to the webinar. Another thing that we did that was a pretty big ordeal to get up and running, but paid off in the long run, was we did do a try before you buy with our online course. And so right away, after they'd had, they became aware of our brand, and we kind of like nurtured them through that campaign, and they still hadn't purchased. We thought, hey, let's just take all of the risk out of this. Come into our course, come try it out. Come try out the first, I think it was 72 hours. So they got a 72 all access pass to our course. And then after that, they were able to decide if they wanted to purchase the course. So that worked out as well for us. And that was another thing we did.
Nice. Just real quick, how did you make sure that the conversion rate was okay from like this try before you buy? Because, like the people are like in the emotion, like sales page, like all of this thing, and they're like get full hyped up. But then they like only try, and then like 2 days later, maybe like the emotion is different. How do you really convert them then?
that was a risk that my COO brought up as well. And I just knew that once people were in our community, they would love us and they wouldn't want to leave.
Got it.
We do a lot of really big things, like one of the first day of school in our Try Before You Buy program. It's the first day of class that they attend. What it actually was is it was a webinar where we had raised money to build houses in Guatemala, and that's a big passion of mine. We have supported orphan prevention, and we've supported single mothers over in Guatemala. And one of the things that we do is we auction off my Louis Vuittons. So every year I buy a couple Louis Vuittons and we will auction them off, and we raise a lot of money. And so knowing that they come into this program thinking that they're going to learn eyelashes on the very first day of school is, look what you can do when you have the money to not only pay off your own needs, but you have the money to give back to the community. And so I knew that once they had the opportunity to come in and see that, if they were our people and they were meant for us, they would stay. But you're absolutely right. And it was a risk, because the people who were coming in based off of logic probably ended up being like, what is this? I thought I was going to learn lashes, and the first day of school is about Louis Vuittons and building houses in Guatemala. So it was definitely a risk. And then what we did afterwards to make sure is that people who didn't purchase or who weren't interested off of that, we could get them with the logic, because inside of our program, I'm so proud of what it is. I'm so proud of the content of it. So we could go and circle back and be like, hey, listen, here's all the things that you're going to learn. This is what's included, and this is why you're going to get, your bang for your buck.
Let's talk about the future. What strategy will enable you to triple the business in the next 12 months, if that's even a goal?
Yeah, it's absolutely a goal. I think right now, a couple strategies. I have to learn to work within a team that I am a part of and not just leading. And that's been a really, really interesting thing for me. But we're a part of, incredible company. And so right now, what we're dialing into is just really, really getting in touch with our numbers, getting in touch with our margins, distribution, and we've got robotic distribution that we've set up right now. And our customer service on the delivery end of it has absolutely improved. And so really just kind of taking a step back and almost restarting the business with really, really strong foundations with people who know about those things. Because when I started, I was just a mom shipping stuff from my basement and hiring out my kids and my nannies to help me ship things out. So in order for us to scale and to continue to scale and hit the numbers that I want to hit, I know that it starts with foundations now.
Clear. Real quick, biggest potential marketing channel to drive massive business growth. Which one is it?
Oh gosh, I wish that I had a straightforward answer, because I feel like that's probably one of the things that I spend most of my time on, is trying to figure that out. I know we've had things that have worked for us in the past, and then things are changing so fast that what works for you one week doesn't work the next. So for me, it's just the ability to be able to pivot and to have a team who's willing to pivot as fast as the algorithm is changing or as fast as the world around us is changing. I do know that absolutely the one thing that I've always been able to rely on and still can rely on is really, really strong email campaigns. So, I mean, for lead gen and where we're going, I think that that's changing all the time, and where we're looking for new sources of lead gen is always changing. And I wish that I could crack that code. But I think that actually having the system set up that no matter where you go with your lead gen, that your follow-up systems are going to close it for you is what's important.
Next section is called Favorite 5. It's a fast-paced section. Let's answer with one word and increase the speed together. Let's go. What's your favorite business book?
Oh, I don't know. Now you put me on the spot. I think start with why. Sign and sign it.
What's your favorite way to get inspiration or to learn and grow?
Connecting with my audience.
What's your favorite person that you are studying, your role model?
Favorite role model. Right now, I am following everything by Ed Milet and Andrew Huberman.
What's your favorite event or conference that you have attended or would love to attend?
I think I want to go to the Abundance 360 conference. Next one that's coming up.
Abundance 360. What's your favorite online tool for building your company?
Kajabi.
And what's your favorite city or place that you would love to move to?
Dallas, Texas.
Interesting. And what's your biggest thing on your mind right now?
What I want to do when I grow up.
Okay. Personal section, real quick. How many hours do you work per week?
Right now, or when I was growing my business?
Right now.
Right now, probably about 15.
15 per week.
Yeah.
Okay. How many hours do you sleep then per night?
About 7 to 8.
Mm-hmm. And what's the relationship? Married, what's the situation? Married, single, any kids?
2 kids and single.
And what's your age?
I'm 37.
So advice section is the last section as well. If you were to lose everything that you have and you have to do it all over again, how would you do it?
I would figure out who I can help and how to use the skills that I have and the story that I have to create another business or to start over. So I don't think that I would change anything that I've done before.
What's the best piece of advice that you've ever received from someone?
Make all of your decisions as if you're running towards something instead of running away from something.
And last and final question. If you could go back in time and have a conversation with your 20-year-old self, what's the best piece of advice that you would give to your younger self?
You know, that every single thing that you're going through right now, every single obstacle is going to create a story that you can use to propel yourself forward. And instead of wondering why it's happening to you, be grateful that it is and look for the lesson in it and look for how you can use that lesson to propel yourself into something bigger than where you're at right now.
This is Jessi Penner. She is the founder of Fixe Beauty, which is an online in-person eyelash extension training company that she just sold, actually, which is amazing. And the company provides beauty skills, but also teaches business strategies to launch and grow a thriving beauty business. She essentially uses her own story to inspire others. She was at business school, 9-to-5 insurance job, single mom, couldn't take it anymore, and then got introduced to network marketing, which led then to the inception of her business. And she went full steam into it. And then today it's online training courses to become certified professional in-person trainings as well. It goes from the $200 low ticket offer, which actually was a smart decision because it undercut competition. And during COVID led to a massive growth, 10xing the business essentially almost overnight in a few consecutive months. And now you can spend up to $5,000 for a 2-day weekend to learn about how to build an eyelash extension business. And she started the business 2019-ish. Since then has served 45,000 customers and has a 38% completion rate, which is stellar in the market. It's like almost 10x of what's market standard. This is an 8-figure business, so 7-figure monthly, 8-figure total, team of 8+ contractors. Good margin, but reinvesting everything in the business. Ads are huge in order to drive up that volume. But if return on ad spend is good, then you would do that. The funnel is very much about community, leading with why, don't sell, emotion, fear, logic, then evergreen webinar, try before you buy, send people in these low ticket offers, and then hire up into the higher ticket offers. And with that, she is now into a new role where she has to understand how to learn with others as she has sold the business and to make that a success. And in order to take it to the next level, if she has a team that can pivot quickly, then that's actually the key to actually unlock the next level of the business. So thank you so much for sharing your passion, Jessi, and taking us to the next level.
Thanks, Matt. Thank you so much.